In the city of Cyprus around 300 BC, there was a wealthy trader named Zeno. One day, while traveling from Phoenicia to Piraeus, his boat sank and he lost all his cargo. In an instant, a rich man became poor because of something entirely out of his control. Imagine being Zeno. How would you react if your entire life's work was wiped out by nature? Would you be angry, sad, feel like life was unfair? Most of us would, but not Zeno, the father of Stoicism. A small change can last forever, and a small shift in your mindset can lead to bigger, more impactful changes. At its core, Stoicism is about acceptance and indifference. After reading the works of Socrates and other philosophers, Zeno created and taught Stoicism. He believed that while we can't control what happens to us, we can control how it affects us. Instead of crying over his lost goods, Zeno stayed calm and composed. Today, people often see Stoics as unbreakable, unemotional individuals. But Stoicism is more than that. It's a way to view, understand, and live in the world. This philosophy has endured for centuries and is still relevant today. Stoicism helps us process negative emotions and turn them into a unique perspective on the world. Everyone has different experiences and perspectives. The Stoics gathered and taught philosophy in public places, believing their principles could benefit everyone. So, they didn't hide their knowledge in schools or palaces. As a result, anyone, from slaves to emperors, could learn and become Stoic. Notable Stoics include Epictetus, a former slave, Seneca, a renowned statesman, and Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor. The early Stoics practiced what they preached, fighting against inequality and coining the word cosmopolitan, meaning citizen of the world. They believed in unity and togetherness. At the time, women weren't allowed to pursue philosophy, but the Stoics disagreed. Musonius Rufus, Epictetus' teacher, said that women are just as inclined toward virtue as men and should be allowed to practice philosophy. In a world full of unexpected events, our emotions often get in the way. We don't get sad because bad things happen. We get sad because unexpected bad things happen. Rain, for example, is good for plants and livestock, but when it catches you without an umbrella, it's not a pleasant experience. Yet, we don't cry because we expect rain. Stoicism teaches us to expect that bad things can and will happen. One exercise called voluntary discomfort aims to increase gratitude. It involves doing things like sleeping on the floor, taking cold showers, or eating plain foods to understand that you can survive and even thrive no matter how tough things get. By enduring discomfort, we prepare our minds for future challenges. In today's world, with constant ads making us feel we need the next best thing, Stoicism reminds us that true contentment comes from within, not from external possessions or circumstances. In today's world, this message is more important than ever. We will never be happy if we keep chasing external things. We enter the world knowing very little. As we grow up, we learn from our families, schools, and our own experiences. But these sources often teach us different things. Do we need to absorb all this knowledge? If we do, we might set unrealistic expectations for ourselves, leading to disappointment and dissatisfaction. That's no way to live. Instead, we should focus on improving ourselves for our own sake. We should do things for ourselves without attaching external hopes or expectations. Depending on external validation usually leads to disappointment. Often, we try to fill the emptiness inside with external things, buying a fancy car, a house, or even starting a family. Sometimes we do these things for their external value, not their internal worth. But Stoicism teaches that placing our happiness in external things sets us up for failure. Cars break down, natural disasters happen, and relationships can end. Even free things come at a cost, physical and mental space. Seneca once wrote, "Learning to live with less will create space in your life for the things that truly matter to you." We should base our happiness on our intrinsic value as humans, not on what we have or can acquire. We must strive to keep a cool head, no matter what life throws at us. Because at the end of the day, we don't control most things that happen to us, but we do control how we react to them. This is the dichotomy of control, the most important principle in Stoic philosophy. Epictetus said, "The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control and which have to do with the choices I actually control." Stoics teach us to separate what we can control from what we can't. We should find our value in the things we can control. Striving for goals is good, but breaking down when things don't go our way is useless. Making YouTube videos is a lot easier than being a Roman emperor, but it can still be challenging. You need to come up with an idea, research it, script the video, create it, edit it, make a thumbnail, and title it, all before uploading. Up to that point, everything is in your control. But once you click upload, it's up to the YouTube algorithm. Many people judge their success by views and followers, metrics largely beyond their control. Stoics teach that you should judge success by the effort you put in, not by external results. Trust the process. Living with less means freeing yourself from societal expectations. Imagine someone working hard at their job for 6 months, expecting a promotion. When his boss doesn't grant it, he feels like a failure. He doesn't consider that the boss might have had a bad day, someone else might have been more qualified, or the company couldn't afford it. Instead of feeling upset, he could focus on the quality of his work and keep striving for his goals. With the right perspective, his goal isn't diminished, just postponed. This mindset shift is crucial. A true Stoic doesn't measure success by financial gain, but finds comfort in living well without material wealth. Stoicism has 4 main virtues: wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice. Wisdom is understanding what is internal and what is external, and choosing our response to external events. Viktor Frankl said, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response." Courage means persisting and resisting. Temperance, or moderation, is about doing more with less and valuing what is essential. While some fight for wealth, Stoics believe that enough is having what is essential and then some. Justice is the most important virtue. It means doing no harm to others because we are born to help each other, not just ourselves. Nelson Mandela, a famous African leader, fought against apartheid and spent 27 years in prison. When released, he became president of South Africa. Instead of seeking revenge, He urged people to rebuild and move forward. He embraced Stoic values, teaching that we must let go of the past and focus on building a better future. Modern therapies like rational emotive behavioral therapy, REBT, and logotherapy are based on Stoic principles. REBT helps patients challenge negative thoughts and replace them with healthier beliefs. Logotherapy, based on the idea that humans are driven by purpose, helps people find meaning even in the darkest situations. To improve our happiness, we must practice self-worth and focus on what we can control. This way, we stop fixating on uncontrollable things and lead happier, more fulfilling lives. Stoicism guides us through life's storms to calmer waters. And if our ship sinks, we can take peace in knowing we lived well, even if not as long as we hoped. Because everything has an end,